Well, hopefully you guys are coming back. Sorry. All right, gentlemen. I'm sorry. Can you hear me again? Big O. Sorry for losing you guys. My daughter called and I hit the button and everything went black. So camera angle still good, picture still good, sound still good. John, you still here? Will you find us again anyway? There you go. Now devices are catching up. Yep. John, did you ever get my number? I text you. If you didn't, I'll send it to you again. Yep. Long form live. You like that? Try this a little better. How are you doing? I take that this is your other channel you were talking about. I asked you that and you never responded, so that's fine. Don't respond to me. Yeah, I figured maybe get a better angle of these guns. Everybody wants to see them a little better. Well, I sent you the number in your video. You can call, man. I mean, obviously don't call right now, right? But I'm cool talking on the phone. You just, when you call, you can't be like, hello, be like, hello, in your deepest, sexiest voice. Otherwise it'd be weird, right? That's usually how most people I know answer their phone when they know it's me. They always go, well, hello. And I don't know. They just do. I know weird people, I guess. So I had that another community guidelines warning on my green screen channel, and I won that one. I should have posted the stuff, but they got back to me earlier and said, we made the decision to relook at your footage and it does not violate our content. So every time I get the option, what I wrote in my appeal there will be exactly what I write. How can you selectively enforce me or censor my stuff when there's other content out there? And for you, Ammo, you might want to start listing some examples, because I was thinking about it. It's a platform. We all agree to community guideline standards, and they have the right to revoke our stuff for that. Hello, I'm special agent. There you go. Can we get a gun count? But maybe if they're selectively targeting people and you can give examples, wouldn't that get into, like you were saying, that's harassment? They can deny people's whatever on on this content or this app, but if they're doing it to some and not others, if they're not playing fair across the board, that's a problem, man. Maybe Ammo start off one of them posts, and maybe has your channel been unfairly persecuted or attacked, and let's get the channels together that are doing it, because every one of us that does content, it doesn't take long and you'll start getting enforced. And I can handle playing by the rules. Don't touch guns in live. Don't do this, don't do that, and I'm okay. I'll try to play them rules. That's fine. I make that choice. But when others aren't being held to that standard, and I mean, it's not even that they're just trying to slide something through. A lot of these channels, dude, they're straight bad examples. I think I've talked about that, my theory on it. But that's just me. That's just me ranting, irritated. None of us I haven't seen, especially you, Ammo. I have yet to see any content that actually matches. Um, there you go, man. It's 43 hours. I've yet to see any content that you've done that has 100% even come close to what they're claiming. I mean, nothing at all. So that's just it's not right. It's okay. Are you? I mean, obviously you're probably working. I think I think I got your life figured out. This is what I think you are, Ammo. I see you going to and from your jobs. I see you going to and from the gun range and the store, and I probably picture you going and getting charcoal. Hopefully Patriot will jump back on. I actually wanted to chat with him a little bit. So hey guys, I should mention this. And so I was trying Patriot right on. So John Flame there, he needs, what do you say, 50 more subscribers to get to his 500. Is that right, John? Did I get that number right? I would like to see every one of us help one another out. Not a sponsor. Let's get you your numbers. Let's work together, man. I want to take YouTube's money. The more games they play, the more bullshit they play, the more I just want to take their money. I think a lot of channels I've seen and people are talking, you're down to 10, right on. Maybe we get you your 10. So any of you guys that aren't the usual suspects, jump in here on not a sponsor to and also John Flame. They both have cool content. They both have good content. Um, Big O is on here too. He's got some really cool shit too. He's I'd like to see more content from Big O. He I'd like to see more content from him. I think he's probably a really cool dude in person. I don't know if any of you guys check his stuff out. He doesn't have a lot, but he has a strong vibe going too. Yeah, well, I'm trying to say it, but yeah, if he's here, man, just know that I'm talking highly of you. So understand that I do have that respect for you. Um, there you go, man. Appreciate it. See, you're still here. Right the fuck on. So, man, this computer is just killing me. My last computer I had, I was trying to get some stuff to work, and I couldn't get it to work, and it was me, all me, and it didn't go well. I reprogrammed it. I got mad. I'm like, fuck this computer, and a couple good whacks, and yeah, that was the end of that computer. So that's all you guys. That's why I always come in your stuff. I may leave some stupid comments right there, like completely off subject, or like, what the fuck is he talking about? That's just me trying to get some comment in there. Um, you get 15, 20, 30, 100 people comment, and they all comment almost the same thing. So I'll throw something out there just to, more or less, just to make you laugh and chuckle. Just know that's me trying to just get a little reaction out of you to make you smirk a little bit. I mean, I'm not doing it to be a weirdo. I'm not doing it to like, what kind of dope is this guy smoking? I do it just try and get a laugh out of you. I would tell jokes. I've done that in the past, and they all end up held in YouTube jail. So I quit doing that to people. Well, you know what? My daughter will be here soon. She can figure this out for me. I didn't even know he had that other channel. I remember him mentioning that he was going to go back to his other channel, his original channel from Belgium, and then he commented on it. And I went on it. And at first, I thought it was another one of the trolling channels because I saw Belgium sheep. Oh boy. We got ammo with Belgian. I was picturing, dude, somebody go running by the camera, fucking pants around their knees, go bah bah bah, and it wasn't that. But I would have watched it. Shut up, Fubar. Do me a favor, Harley, because I don't know how that works. Pull up this from that.
Are you signed in?
I can't figure out how to go to videos.
Oh.
Also, whose computer is this? Is this yours or your mom's?
Does it have a clicker?
It has the thing on the side.
That's Mom's.
Oh, she's gonna be mad. It's broke.
Yeah.
She knew it?
She knew it was busting.
Oh,
Is
good.
the channel you're on?
Yeah, I want to pull this one up.
Okay.
I thought it was my computer. And I opened it and I was like, what the hell is going on? Well,
Storm range.
I want you to pull up FE.
FB.
It's yeah, that's Fubar, man. That's my dog.
How do you spell ordinance?
Can you go to that channel subscriptions? But, well, good. She knew it was broke because she's gonna be mad because I don't think it was as broke as it is now. But I'm glad it was hers.
It's not. It wasn't.
Well, I mean, those things happen. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Say I'm sorry for making everybody get goofy because I tried calling even though I was told I had to walk home.
I didn't remember you telling me to walk.
You did after I told you though, right?
After I called you, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This one you did.
That's all right. So what do you guys got going on this weekend? I ain't got shit going on again, which is nice. I do think I'm gonna take and go do some shooting if it's not shitty out.
If you wanted, you can take just me and Callie up to Rip.
Up to Ripon on Sunday? I can do that.
Well, not Ripon, but pistol shooting. Marksman.
Junior marksmanship?
Yeah.
Maybe talk to her parents and find out if she can go to the range then afterwards.
I can.
Because I want to take you out and let you play with that Shadow Systems. I've shot it. She still yet hasn't shot it. Got a match in a couple weeks and she hasn't fired the gun, so that'll be fine. Is that live? Yeah, put join, don't you?
No, this is
Oh.
for your.
I don't know any of that stuff.
Yes, this is live.
All right.
Because if you click the screen, it'll say live on the bottom. Do you want it full or no?
It don't matter. I wanted to go in and Gage had saw how to set up like this so the screen would troll. All right, John, come on, let's go. Let's get these subs up. John Flame, let's get his channel to 500. John said if we get him to 500, he's taking us all out for steak. Except we got to go down wherever he's living. But he did say Texas Roadhouse. Keep posting that every once in a while, not a sponsor. That would help. So where are the comments on there? How come they don't show up?
It should be.
They're not?
They're right here.
Oh, shit. Well, do me a favor. Can you write down that John's Arsenal? And every once in a while, throw that in the comments.
In here?
Yeah, but then you got to type it in there. So I got the computer going. My son will usually he moderates off of this other channel, so we don't really use the other channel, but it lets us moderate and then it doesn't mess up with the live.
What do you want me to write down?
Put the not a sponsor. Put John's page on there. It's up there. Look in the comments.
This one
Mm.
or this one? Oh,
Right there.
right here.
Yeah. And just type that in there once in a while. I think that's right. No, it's right there. Oh, I just lost it. Right there. And
This.
with the little @ symbol. He is, but he's not here right now. So, he'll be here later. He's my co-pilot, man. He's gotten really good at filming and stuff, and he's pretty decent with the computer. So like I've had people straight up steal my content and screen record it and then publish it. And I always talk to him like, hey man, that wasn't open for a remix. I appreciate you taking it down. You always get the words of encouragement back, and well, so then you file a copyright strike. I don't know if you guys copyrighted your channels, but if you haven't, you should. 2 of the 3 of mine are copyrighted. My green screen channel I never copyrighted, but it keeps people from actually straight up stealing your content. That's bogus when people do that. Or they'll take it and they'll use it in a way to try and like make you look like shit, which is fine. I mean, if I look like shit, I look like shit. But if you're using content to maliciously just be a douche, well, then I don't feel bad when you get a copyright violation. But I used to leave my stuff open.
How do you copy?
I will have my son go into that, but I know it's in the studio. No, they don't automatically do it. So, like, watermarks in your video is good. I've yet to figure that out. So if you guys know how to do the watermarks, let me know. But
Do you want me to comment this?
yeah, you pop it up there every few minutes.
Okay.
So, but YouTube is weird, man. They're the way they do shit is weird. The reason we copyrighted my stuff is when I first started. I can't because I don't know if I can do that with the horizontal. Because I don't think I can. We'll make my daughter type. So yeah, it's worth doing. But I started saying I had a bunch of stuff stolen, and hey, take the shit down. It's not yours. And I got the go fly yourself. And I contacted YouTube, and they asked, was your channel copyrighted? No. Is there watermarks in your video? No. Well, there's not much we can do. All right. So then we went into the copyright tools in studio, and he found it. He set it up.
You can't even see the end of the bear yet.
Yeah, Barrett's a big bitch.
Uh-huh.
Makes you realize how big that Barrett is when you look at all them pistols by it. You want to put the dogs upstairs, please?
Yeah.
Did you let them out when you came home?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, we'll let them out.
Okay. I'm gonna eat something too.
That's fine.
I'm just hungry because I got my
man. She complains a lot. I'd say that's, you know, whatever, but she is a girl. I think that's just like human nature.
We got
Don't look at me like that. Tie your shoe.
I was gonna take it off. We got 3 minutes of lunch today, but I talked to the principal today.
I don't know, man. Look at what they do to everybody. You know, it doesn't make sense. Um, but they do it. You know, that was when I stopped allowing remixes on my videos and shit too. Um, so I don't know. That other channel, that's all that channel is green screen and stuff. But I'll be honest, right? A lot of this stuff I post on there. Number one, the whole purpose of that channel is, and Amo can testify to this. Him and I were talking one time, and we said there's no way somebody gets the amount of subscribers people have from just green screen. So I'm out to prove it to myself. Not that whatever, but I still don't believe it. But that channel is growing. And then two, some of the stuff I got on there. If I'm watching videos and I find some turd standing on a roof with a modified Glock and they're getting away with it, I'm gonna green screen that video, you know, because then when I get a strike for it, which has happened, when I get a strike for it, I have the thing of saying, look, man, how are you selectively targeting me for enforcement? And yet the original creator that's just straight doing some horrible shit, that video is left alone. Doesn't make sense. Well, it's more than bad gun editing. I had a video on there. I don't know if y'all saw it. Well, I mean, a couple of you know the channel, but dude's got a Glock and he's showing switches on him, and he does the typical Ammo Alchemist move of, well, subscribe if you're not gay. I'm like, oh, that's funny. So I green screen the video and I put, subscribe if you're not a Fed. Or subscribe if you're a Fed or law enforcement or something. Man, you know how many subscribers that video got? Which is disturbing. Deeply, deeply, deeply disturbing. But whatever. I don't think anybody read the title. I think they just saw some kid with a Glock switch and said, that's cool. I want to be just like that. You know. But then you have somebody else, you know, at the range shooting and they're getting a strike for it. You know, eye protection, ear protection, you know, all this, check all the boxes. And they're getting strikes, you know. Am I a little salty about it? Absolutely. Am I frustrated and disgusted? Absolutely. Am I disgusted that people are that eager to promote the negative side of things? Absolutely. That bothers me. It's not what I want to see. I don't think that's what anybody should see. I mean, it happens. We all do it, but why put it out there, you know? Leroy, go. Fubar, don't start your shit. So, I mean, maybe you guys feel differently. Maybe I shouldn't take offense to it. Maybe, you know, whatever. And the thing is, too, is I see these guys and they're doing stupid shit. To me, I keep going, these are future shooters. These are future competition shooters. They just haven't learned the right way, you know? I mean, so. But Patriot, what's up? What's up for you for the weekend? That was disturbing. That was, you know, what was really disturbing about that is the number of firearms that were loaded. You know, the number of firearms that were actually loaded. You know, if you want, right, you want to look down the end of the barrel. How come not one of these brainiacs said, oh, why don't I go point the gun at a mirror? I can look down the barrel of a gun in a mirror, and if it does discharge, it's safe. At 7 years bad luck, no big deal. But nah, man, let's look down the barrel. You know what's even more stupid than looking down the barrel is, like, I saw a few, hey bro, is it loaded? And they point the fucking gun at somebody. You know, them, I haven't seen them in a while. I think they probably got hammered, but that was a thing for a while. You know. It is, and that's the thing that bothers me, and maybe I'm offended by it. I won't lie. I am offended by it. I'm offended that, you know, people with good channels that aren't doing shit wrong. I mean, are getting straight raped. You know, it's not right. It's anything but right. I mean, they like to do the standard disclosure of, you know, YouTube is supposed to be a safe place where people can learn and be and educate themselves, and then they strike a video that's absolutely doing nothing but showing that. You know, 100% it's showing the right way, and I think I think whoever watches these videos, if anybody, they've gotten so used to the improper way to handle things that when they see somebody in like a pistol match shooting competition, they think it's wrong. You know, I don't understand it. You know, I mean, heaven forbid we have a target, right? Oh, I've seen them.
I'm waiting for the live chat again because it wasn't showing anything.
So years ago, this is not a great moment. We all watched Lethal Weapon growing up. Well, John, I think you were probably grown up. But you probably remember the point when Mel Gibson had a Beretta pointed at him. I think it was an Asian dude pointing a Beretta at him. It may have even been his gun. And he reached out and he grabbed the slide and he stripped that slide. Well, you can do that. You can actually do that on a Beretta. And I showed it to my cousin one time that you could do that. And so then he went to show somebody and he tried to do it with the Tokarov that was loaded. And man, he yeah, Lolo, that dude's something else. But he tried that, and thing is that gun actually discharged. Number one, why are you doing it with loaded firearm? Number two, why are you doing it with loaded firearm? Right? Number three, why are you doing it with Tokarov? But he did it with Tokarov, and the bullet entered his thigh, traveled down his bone, and like almost all the way down to his bone. Like it was like bouncing around the, I can't think of the meaty part of the bone, the inside, but it bounced all the way down there. I mean, blew his knee out, blew his leg out, blew his lower femur out, almost bled out. You know. You know. And part of it, I mean, I think every one of us has went out and mag dumped guns. Every one of us has shot at a pile of dirt. But from a very young age, I was taught about gun safety. I knew, you know, bullets ricochet. I don't think he's a Hellcat driving individual. He seems like, I was going to say Nissan Altima or a Sonata or something. Or a Kia. He's probably got a Kia. Starts with a screwdriver. The Merrill. Thank you, John. But yeah, he lost his leg over the whole thing. You know. Stupid fucker. So. As I get older, yeah, someone else's key. That was what I was getting at with screwdriver, or not. They don't even use screwdrivers. They use the USB ports. But the older I get, the more cautious I am, because I realize, I mean, we're all gonna die. There's no way around that. We're all gonna die. None of us, not any one of us, are getting out of this scenario alive. None of us. But the older I get, the more I wouldn't want that. You know, when you're young, you don't think of it, and as you get older, people around you, you know, rock stars, man, healthy people, they just freak accidents. You know. I know you do that shit every day. I don't know how you can do that.
What? Because I don't eat at school. Because I don't want to eat.
How many of you guys remember the cars that you could start with screwdrivers or shaved keys? I mean, maybe y'all never did that, but I may have done. I think the funnest thing I did when I was a kid, and I was being a hoodlum, was we learned that if you hit the front bumper with a bat, you could set off airbags. I agree with that. I've learned. I try to, especially when with my kids around, I try real hard to be a positive influence. You know, so that's important. I mean, later in life they can 60 Chevy. Yeah, there you go. I think the Ranger I had, I ended up starting with a screwdriver. I lost the keys in it. You do construction though, don't you, Patriot? I know I saw you working, but maybe it's just your winter thing. 80 Datsun. Hey, do you know how Datsun got the name Datsun? Any of you guys know that? My dad taught me this when I was a young kid. It's actually really interesting how they came up with the name Datsun. And Datsun's a little it's a foreign truck, right? A Japanese truck. And they had went to Germany and they were working with some German engineers. Uh, I think they were like Porsche and BMW and guys. I mean, these guys were I mean innovative. They were state of the art, and they were working with Datsun. And one of the things that Datsun had requested was to help them come up with a name for the pickup, right? And a German guy, he's like, how soon do you need the name? And the Japanese guy, he's like, tomorrow. And the German goes, that soon? Come on, that's funny as hell. That soon. Barney Fife, sir, I am so glad to see you here. So you guys, you see Barney Fife. I want to actually thank him. He has been one of my top commenters for a long time. Barney, I'm glad you're here, so I could actually say thank you. I really appreciate it, man. When nobody else is watching stuff, I see a comment from you, and I always really enjoy that. Um, I'm thankful that you take the time to do that. You know what I mean? Nick's Armory, how are you doing? Guys, haven't double tap that screen. Also, Harley, send that name through again. We're trying to get John Fleming up to his 500. At the start of this, I think he was 10 away, so he's probably closer than that. If you guys would check out his channel, Barney, you'd probably dig it. He's an old school dude with, a living museum grade collection. But yeah, I'm glad you're here. How are you been doing? How's everything going on your end? How's the family doing? He needs two more. We need two more for him. Nick's Armory, go check out John's Arsenal. Give him a quick sub. You guys will probably like. He's an old school dude, so don't think that it's some young guy gonna be showing you Glock switches. It's not. But I'm telling you, I am very very impressed by the quality of the firearms he has, and the heritage of them. I mean, the history in him is just incredible. He's got some stuff. He showed a shotgun yesterday. It was a break action single shot, and he showed the gun just briefly, and he said, "If somebody can guess the name of this, I forget exactly how he said it, but basically, can you tell me what this is?" And he said, "When the video gets to 100 views, I'll tell you." Well, okay, I saw it, and I'm going through. I'm trying hard to think about what this gun is, and I saw it a little bit, and I didn't know. I honestly didn't know what it was. I left a comment in there, and I didn't really necessarily have a guess, but I said I know it's not a J.C. Higgins. I know it's not a New England. I know it's not. I think I actually said New England at first, New England Firearms. But I listed off a few other ones. I knew it wasn't. And he's like, "All right, I'll give you a clue." And the more clues he gave me, legitimately, the more confusing it got, because I wish I could think of the first one. The first one was like a detective movie with a big bird in it. I'm like, a big bird in a detective movie? I'm like, a cartoon? or an actual TV show. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's thinking, um, no, it wasn't a Glock. It was actually, of all things, I'll skip to the punchline. Of all things, it was a Beretta, old break action Beretta. Um, so the clues he was giving me, I started looking up old guns like that and trying to find the movies, and you know, there's definitely a generational gap there because like all the movies he was throwing me are like way before my time, and I'm just getting more and more and more stumped. And I kept doing searches, and I kept looking up. I even started looking up, single shot break action 16 gauge shotguns, and some stuff would come up, and some high end ones would come up, and so I'd throw them out there. He's like, "Nope, you're wrong." I'm like, fuck, you know. And one that kept coming up was Beretta. I'm like, "That's not a Beretta," you know. And sure shit, I'll be darned because it absolutely was a Beretta. I have never seen one like that. It looked to be in like incredible condition, and he definitely takes very, very good care of his firearms. Um, but yeah, I didn't know it was a Beretta. Not a. I mean, John, can you tell us what Beretta model it was? Because I didn't even ask what model. My head hurt, and um, I'm thinking he's probably still here. John, I'll let you tell him what Beretta it is. But it was a 16 gauge break action. Um, nice wood form on. I don't know what the wood was. Um, yeah, I was trying to find it, man. I mean, if I didn't know it, how else was I gonna figure it out? I had to look for it. So, what model was that, John? He's typing. At least I assume he's typing. But Barney, I think. Well, I know you watch the channel, so you've seen all the firearms up here. Um, what? You forgot? You put me through all that work, and you forgot? Come on, man. It's 412. Is that a guess, or is that legitimately what it is? 412 series full and shotgun by Bird. There you go. There you go, Barney. John, if you're still there, not a sponsor. Got your. Have you ever seen one of them in person? I haven't. I've never seen anything like that from Beretta. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, he's got some really cool stuff. Um, he's got some more modern stuff too. He's got an ARP and 300 blackout. He has some really nice Smith and Wesson revolvers. All kinds of stuff. I appreciate it, Nix. And man, I mean, I think you're new here, but all the guys you see commenting here, these are all really good guys. There's a lot of cool channels in here, and they're like yours. They're newer channels, so they're trying to just we're all trying just to get ahead, man. And if you can build the relationships as you go, that's better. I mean, that's what the big channels did, right? The big channels did it with other big channels when they were small channels, and they built it all up. I didn't. When you were talking about working, I did see the work. Well, I mean, I would take the extra barrel length too. He does. He's got a really cool Tommy gun. You know, I didn't know it either until I think 2 videos ago. He was talking about the boxes they're in. They're like a violin box. He made the boxes. He made the cases for them. I think if anybody were going to buy a Thompson, the model that he has is the pistol. That's the one to buy and then SBR it versus like the one I have with the 16.5 inch barrel on it. The Thompson could be a really cool gun to play with. It's just a couple things that need to be changed. 1 and 2 and 3 is all to do with the butt stock. The butt stock is too long, it's too thick, and it's got too much of an angle. Yeah, man. You know, you're absolutely right. Um, anytime I see comments in my stuff, and I hope you guys feel the same way for me. It makes me feel good. It's like one of my guys sending me a message. It makes me feel good, you know. I mean, you get the random people, and that's whatever. But I mean, I try really hard to form a relationship with people, and you never know. I mean, at some point along the road, we'll maybe hopefully get to cross paths. Go throw some lead. You know, that'd be cool. Who is that? Uh, Sam Moore. Is he going to the gathering? I think I saw him saying something about that. Was that Sam or was it maybe it was somebody else? J and K, how are you doing? Glad you're here. We're trying to get John Flam up to 500 subscribers on his channel. Harley, send that through again. If you want, since you're here, if you don't mind, check his channel. I'll give him a subscribe. And of course, standard disclosure, you know, not a sponsor, Patriot Arms, Ammo Alchemist, Big O, man, Orange Smoke, you know, everybody else, you know. I'm doing good. It's Friday. It is about the size, man. You know. I know he was on lockdown. I saw actually that in yours. Somebody was mentioning they're going to the gathering that PSA is putting on. The kids. Well, he's right above you, John Flame. And the comment directly below you, my daughter just put. So that's his channel. Not a sponsor. He did it too. Not a sponsor said at 300 subscribers he's going to give away his Balkava. At least that's what I heard. Justin 10, yeah, that's who it was. I'm not sure exactly where it is. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, South Carolina, right? It makes sense. You guys see that guy pop up there? I love oh, I love it, dude. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I think that's funny, you know. But was that Triple K Adventures? What are you doing? Oh, you see his profile pic? Mine too, Nick's. Oh god, too funny. Triple K, what are you you do? I'm curious. Sticks 8, 3 ninjas just 10 are going to gathering. It'd be fun, but I'd probably end up complaining about that dagger. Maybe next year. I'm out searching. What are you searching for? Oh, holy fuck, dude. Come on, man. You know? I'm not sure. Triple K, do you know anything about South Carolina? Now, what's wrong with you? That's too much. That's funny, but it's too much. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They're definitely cherry picked. Barney, you were up in, what was it, the northeast, weren't you? Did I get that wrong? Huh. You've had that long, the Beretta? Was that I don't think you have told the story about how you acquired it. Was that I can't see a parent giving a kid a Beretta. I mean, I wouldn't think that would have been a cheap firearm. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I have no experience or with something like that. None. Long Island. That's what I thought up in the yeah. Because I remember we talked about that a few times, right? I know we did. I don't even have to ask you. I know we talked about it. But yeah. Fuck. You guys see, what was that Triple K, man? That's too much. I don't even know what to think about that. Should I have blocked him? I mean, he didn't say anything wrong. Go watch an episode. What do you mean? Your videos? I've watched. I haven't watched all of them, man. There's a lot to go through. I try to make sure I check everybody's stuff every day. Um, I wanna show you guys support too. I don't know. I mean, his hat looked awfully starchy. Hold on 1 second. I'll be back. Talk to him, Harley.
Hello. Thanks for stopping in. And watching the live with us. Ammo had to leave.
What?
Ammo had to leave.
Huh?
He had to leave the one.
Oh, Hamill?
Yeah.
Alright. See you later, Emmo.
I said that.
Stay out of trouble. Don't get caught if you do. Put the dogs up there.
Okay, upstairs. Come on, guys.
He can stay.
Okay, Mo, upstairs. Or is she okay laying there?
You're upstairs.
Momo, come on.
Stubborn dog.
Come on.
Go. Go.
Mo, get up.
Go.
Come on. Let's go up the stairs. Come on. Do you know Fubar's up there?
Fubar's up there.
Okay. I'll sit up here with them.
But hang out. You can moderate.
Yeah. Upstairs.
It was your buddy's grandfather shopping. What? Do you know roughly what year ish? I'm not trying to date you, but if that's from when you were a kid. And Beretta's, I mean, what? I think their history goes back to, was it the 1600s? It's the oldest firearms manufacturer in existence, or still in existence. Maybe that would be the term. I'm not playing with you. But Patriot, did you learn that song? I don't know if y'all ever caught any Patriots lives. He does them on Sunday night. And when he gets the dead time to kind of fill space, he plays a guitar. He's not bad. I was 12. Sold then 70. Like I said, I wasn't trying to date you. Are we at your 500 now? So I could go for some Texas Roadhouse. Y'all remember, if you haven't subscribed to John, go to John's site, his page, and subscribe. He promised everybody Texas Roadhouse. We just have to drive to him. Leroy, we're not gonna play. No. One more. Come on, we gotta have one more in here. If you're doing, there we go, 503. Whammo. Steaks for everybody. I know. Now, standard disclosure, clearly I was lying and bullshitting. He didn't promise us Texas Roadhouse. He did say Red Lobster. I told him I'm not a seafood fan. Eisenhower was president when I was born. You know, I should be better at history. But I'm trying to think of who was president after Eisenhower, or before. I can't remember where he fits in. Pick you up for steak, or pick you up because you fell. You gotta specify. I mean, if it's for steak, don't tempt me. I think all of us are on board with that. Truman was before Eisenhower. Yeah. Congratulations, John. I'm glad we got you there, sir. You got, like I said, you got good stuff. Don't get discouraged, man. D-Dog, what's shaking, man? Right on. No, we got, I don't think you've been on here when John Flame has been in here. Might have been, but he's got a small channel like the rest of us, but he's got some really cool firearms. He's got a living museum. If I remember right, he said it was 600 firearms roughly. I mean, we all know 600 is more like 1,000, but you know, got some really cool historical stuff, phenomenal quality. And I happened to just kind of stumble across his channel one day, and he had a couple old SKSs on there. One of the SKSs had a old, I want to say Tapco, but I don't think it was Tapco. maybe a chote. Was that a chote stock that was on that SKS, John? But it was a side folder, and that was one of the things that went away during the assault weapons ban, was that stock. So I recognized it because I had one. I had bought one for mine, and then I'd actually found the mechanism to make it fold, so I was able to make it fold. But get bored sometime, you want to look at some cool historical firearms, that's the guy to do it, or the channel to do it. Definitely live in museum, and right on. I thank all of you. I really thank you guys, man, that y'all stepped up and checked his channel and subscribed. Now we got to get D-Dog Tactical up to 1,000. He's getting close. Not a sponsor. We got to get you to your 500. So clearly, I'll say the same thing. If you guys haven't checked out them channels, and of course, everybody else that's in here, man, I have yet to see anybody come in these comments that I don't know and haven't interacted with, except that Triple K. Except for Triple K. I mean, but he's more than welcome. I mean, he didn't say anything bad. I think it's funny. I mean, I don't know. I think it's funny. You got that PO1? Let's get it ported. There you go. Did you say, D-Dog, did that have the Cajun package done to it, the trigger package? I think you did. I don't remember if it was, though. I think we talked about it. I think, I want to say it was. I think we talked about it, and I want to say your answer was yes, it was been done. Come on, Leroy. You just want that because it's under there. Why you gotta be so stubborn, huh? But D-Dog, how are you doing as a whole? I'm sure by now your head feels better. CZ Customs. Yeah, CZ Customs does good work. I need to get my checkmates sent out to them.
I'm using the bathroom.
Well, good luck with that. There you go. Migraines can take it out of people. I said for years from like being a little kid on, I had horrible migraines. And as I got older, they got worse and worse and worse. I did all kinds of preventive medications. I did the lifestyle changes. I did, I saw a neurologist. I did all these crazy things to try and get over them headaches. And the one thing that ended up working for me, and it's the one thing that a lot of people are skeptical on, is I started doing Botox treatments. And it was every 3 months I'd go in, and it was like 100, I don't know what it was, 180 shots throughout my face, my head, my neck. And I did that for years, right? And a couple times the doctor had to cancel an appointment, so what should have been a 3-month appointment turned out to be like a 4-month and then a 5-month. And then, they'd ask me, well, how are the headaches? And, right away they'd come back. And after a while, I was able to start pushing that 3-month treatment to 5 months out. And then it was 6, then it was a year. And now it's been like, I don't know, 5 years or more, maybe 6 years that I had them treatments. And I don't get migraines like I used to. Every once in a blue moon, but I know what it is. I drink some fluids. I take some Excedrin migraine, and they're gone. I'm not laying in bed for a day, 2 days, 3 days. FK Artesian. Send that to me in my shorts so I can find it. If any of you guys are just like watching or whatever, I don't know if anybody is, but if you comment in my shorts, I'll go to your channel. FK Artesian. So, but yeah, they did Botox. So the crazy thing is they were doing these injections, and I forget how many milliliters it was, but it was 2 bottles, and I wish I could be more actual factual on the information, but let's say a bottle was $1,000, and I think it was more than that. Um, okay, Kardashian. Well, I missed it, but uh, the doctor was dirty, man, which was cool for me because I have no problem dealing with the shady anybody. But he would charge my insurance company for 2 bottles, and he would use one, and they were selling them on the side. Um, but yeah, it was Botox, man. Same stuff that they get for the lips or any of that stuff, but they do it for migraines. Um, when when it was suggested to me by the neurologist, I kind of blew it off, and I talked to my primary doctor, and he's like, "Hey, look, um, my wife gets migraines. She had it done, and it didn't help her at all." And then one of my wife's nieces is a nurse practitioner, and I talked to her about it kind of in passing, and she goes, "Well, sometimes it really works for people, and sometimes it didn't." So I went into this thinking that it wasn't going to work, thinking that there was going to be no benefit at all. Um, and I had zero expectation that it was going to work, but it did. I mean, fortunately for me, it did work. Uh, everything that they tried previous to that for years, all these medications, I'd go in for shots. I had shots I could take at home, but it never like fixed it. It never got rid of it. It just made it better then and there. But I mean, take it for what it is. So there's worse things to have happen. That's kind of weird because they do it. They wouldn't like do it in your lips, right? Which is what most people do, or in the wrinkles. They had spots, and it was like mapped out that they would do it, and it was around your eyes, and all these different little muscle groups. And I guess what it is Botox is it's a toxin. It's made from a bovine thing. What part I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but it opens vessels and stuff up. So migraines are caused when the vessels start restricting. That's where you get that pound of that thump, the thump, the thump. And what Botox does is it inflames or enlarges an area, right? That's why it makes your lips bigger. That's why it gets rid of the wrinkles. But when they start putting in these spots where all these nerves and blood vessels are, it opens them up. And the reason they did it every 3 months, that's how long Botox lasts. So, I mean, plus it made me look hot, dude. I had big old puffy lips. I mean, who doesn't like a dude with big old puffy lips, right? I mean, my boss was always calling me up to the office, telling me, "Hey, if you want a raise." So I did what any self-respecting man would do, and 50 cents is 50 cents, right? But like when I had a migraine, one thing, I mean, it wouldn't fix it, but one thing I used to like to do, and it would help, would be taking like a can of soda. Um, yeah, blah 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 blah. And I'd roll it like over my eye sockets on both sides, and I'd roll it on the back of my neck. I had tried one of the things that they had me try was acupuncture. Um, Acupuncture didn't do anything for a headache, but for like other aches and pains, it actually there's benefits to it. It worked. Um, I stopped doing it because it was either you can do acupuncture or you can continue with other treatments that give you actual headache relief. Uh, so even though that stuff helped for other aches and pains, it didn't do anything for headaches. I had to make a choice, and it wasn't working. But if y'all never tried acupuncture and you have an opportunity, go into it, with the expectation it's not going to help, but there's benefit to it. And it works a lot like the Botox does, where when the pin pricks your skin and penetrates your body, oh God, penetrate. It causes the white blood cells and stuff to go to that area. So when you have inflammation and you are now forcing all these white blood cells, to go to that area, it helps, you know. really interesting. It's a little weird getting stuck with all the needles. It's painless, you know. They stick them in a good ways, but type of stuff is painless. I mean, um, for whatever all that's worth. The best treatments I ever had, and they stopped doing this back in, I want to say like 2007, 2008, but like young person on, I'd go in and they'd give you Demerol, and it would be 50 milligrams of Demerol and then 25 milligrams of visceral. So it's an medication. Well, needless to say, they're shooting you up with some real heavy duty narcotics. And if my head still hurt or not, I don't know. I know I definitely wasn't thinking about it. But during that whole big opioid epidemic, that was a medication that went away. No, it absolutely does not feel like a tattoo. It's painless. I mean, you feel just the slightest little poke, and the whole time the headache is, or the needle's in you, it doesn't bother you. Yeah, that's the thing with any migraine is you got to catch it. I don't know what your guys' triggers are, but for me, there was two that I would catch right away. Number one, smell. I would smell perfumes. I could smell my neighbor's perfume a block away. Just like super, super amplified smell. And then I would notice like everything would start to have a ting or an echo sound, like an echoey type sound. And shortly after that, then I would start seeing the auroras, right? The little white flashes here and there. And by the time that happened, man, it was on. I was done, you know. Yeah, weather. A lot of the times, the weather would be a trigger. Like you're saying, the barometric pressure. If we had a day, you know, springtime is the worst. You know, where it's 30 or 40 degrees, and then it jumps up to like 70 degrees. That pressure change that would always trigger a migraine. Or like in the first parts of summer, the end of May into June, maybe partially into July, when you get them real fast storms, so that barometric pressure was really fluctuating hard. um, that would trigger me every time too. um, so I feel you. Yeah, any of that stuff, them smells, you know, strong perfume, strong candles. uh, And my wife, the only scented candle I could ever tolerate, maybe you guys could too, would be the vanilla. Anything else would I still can't. I still can't handle the smell. But like my wife, I wouldn't let her wear. Yeah, she don't even have perfume in the house. You know, non-scented deodorant. Uh, you know, all that stuff. Because I couldn't handle the smell. It would just set off migraines. Or if it didn't actually set off the migraine, when I did get a migraine, it would be 1,000 times worse. And clearly you guys get them, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, but I think a lot of times too, and I'm sure you guys have heard this too. One of the things you got to do when you start getting migraine, and you don't feel like it, is pound some water, get some fluids into you, because a lot of it, when them muscles and the blood vessels in the back of your neck, which is where most migraines actually start, and then they migrate up. For me, it would always migrate up and be into my eyes. Uh, but a lot of it is blood vessels restricting, and the way to help blood vessels stop restricting is to push fluid. That's why if you go into the hospital for a shot, you know, you got the worst headache of your life, you actually go in for a shot, the very first thing they do is hook you up to an IV and start pushing fluids in you. I mean, if you haven't figured it out and it doesn't, try that. Make sure you push fluid. Sometimes too, like chocolate, pure like a Hershey's bar, um, that'll help. Yeah, and that's, a lot of people are. You know, them are things that they told me. Like I said, for years. You know, big things like processed meat, salami or bologna, um, things like that. Them would give me migraines. That would trigger migraines off. Red onions. If I went to Hardee's, they use red onion on their burgers. That would give me a migraine every time. Even just smelling them, even now, I gotta avoid that. Trying to think. Of course, like cigarette smoke never helped. John says no comment, or no comet. That's a cleaner. Um, Even like when I used to shoot I had a 223 caliber AK. I'm left-handed, so I would catch the gas. If I was using Russian steel core ammunition, that shit would give me a migraine. The 7.62 never bothered me, but that 223 Wolf they had, that shit would give me a migraine just about every time. But all right, not a sponsor. I appreciate it, man. You'll hear from me. You'll get some content posted, I'm sure, right? So I'll check you out. I mean, if I catch you and you're driving, I'm gonna definitely jump in there. I mean, we're both co-defendants now, sir. We're in it together. Not a sponsor, does lives when he's driving, but he's like administrative results. He wears either a bandana or my wife. No, I'm kidding. What do you mean? I'm missing something there. But he'll wear the balaclavas, trying to keep his life separate. But I caught him the other day, and he's like, "I'm just going to rob a bank." I'm like, "That's fine. I'll be a co-defendant or a co party to crime after the fact." But that's where that comes from. It's just whatever, you know. Balaclava. I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Headache. Yeah. I'll tell you, you know, and you guys know, but because sounds and smells and everything would be so. Welcome to a host judicial system. Yeah. Come here on vacation, leave on probation. All right, man. I'll see you later. You have a good night. I'll catch you somewhere here, right? But like, you know, even having kids, I mean, you know this, D-Dog, you know, it physically is painful, and they're trying to be quiet, they're tiptoeing around, and you know, that sucks, you know. I'm glad that that's kind of behind, but it'll get better. So anyway, man, it's just me chatting here. Let's get a topic or something going. I don't know what I'm gonna sit here and chat with you about. I mean, my usual go-to is Asian massage parlors and guns and motorcycles. All right, man, you get out of here too. I'll catch you another time. If not before, I'll see you Sunday night when you do your live. So the Friday lives are tough, as I know, like I said in the beginning of this, I knew that the volume really isn't there. Nobody's coming home on a Friday and first thing you're doing is watching YouTube. At least I don't. I mean, but in the same sense, I'm trying to get them hours in. They update your hours. They're always like a week behind. So I'll put out a live, and then, you know, a week later they'll update it, and I'm getting closer and closer. So we'll do the live we're doing today. and probably one on Sunday when I get back. I guess this week I'm taking my daughter and just her one friend shooting, so we'll go out there and I'll actually videotape out there so you guys can see what they're doing. It's just nothing crazy. It's just an old school indoor range. I mean, old school. Their target retrieval system and sending is just a pulley and a wheel on top of you. You spin it around. Um, I don't I don't generally shoot there because you can't have anything faster than 1,000 feet per second, and it's got to be all lead, which is fine to a point, but it's almost more hassle than it's worth. Um, I asked a few years ago if I could use powder coated bullets, and I never did get a straight answer. Why it would matter, it shouldn't. It does. But after the kids get done shooting, they have an open shoot. So if I'm taking her, which is what I wanted to do all winter, we'll bring some 22s along and we'll shoot some rimfire. And I know they don't meet the 1,000 feet per second either, but for some reason, a CCI going 1,200 feet a second is different than a 9mm going 1,200 feet a second. Let's talk and answers. Okay, what do you want to? I don't have your content in front of me that I can sit and ask you a million questions. So we're gonna wait for me asking you questions till I can look at your content and you're on your live. Which, I mean, I hope you're gonna start doing lives. John, I was gonna tell you too, and in the background when you do your shorts, definitely throw some music. So when you go in, you want to do a short, you select, and it says shorts. At the very top, it says add sound. Find some music to add. Even now, hear me on this. If you are watching YouTube videos and all these stupid videos keep coming up with like that Smith and Wesson 44 sound clip, if you use that sound clip, it'll push you into the algorithm. When you do your sound, you can adjust the volume so that the actual sound clip you're using that isn't even heard. You know what I mean? But because that sound clip is attached to the video, it'll help push that into the algorithms. So maybe worth trying. To get a short with no music really of any kind or any sound is tough to get it to go anywhere. They kill it almost right away. That was something I learned way on. I think some of the first sound clips I used were from Fuba, and man, that used to incite people. They would takes help too. I think I had better luck with the sound clips or trends than tags, or even like the hashtags. I don't know. For me, maybe I just picked the wrong ones, but like a lot of people, you pull up the hashtags and they'll give you the option of like trending or trending shorts or EDC is a good one. That one I do think has helped because I've had people. Yeah, the sound clip and the hashtags. I'm tracking. But I like when I've used EDC or EDC carry, I've had people specifically comment about something EDC related. So maybe that helps. I've done things like with news articles and stuff, something major happened, and I did a hashtag, Trump shooting. And I mean, the video did okay. Yeah, I'm tracking. The shorter ones always do better, and you're right, man. I mean, most people's attention span is about 15 seconds, and you'll see it, you know, 10 to 12 seconds, it already starts dropping, and that 12, 13, 14 seconds almost bottoms out. And if they stick around for that first 15 seconds, then they're gone. One thing I've noticed too is some of these shorts that are like super, super short, 5, 6 seconds, but they restart and you don't even realize they restart. What the fuck is she doing? That helps. They look at like the retention, and then they look at the amount the video played. So when you do a super short and it restarts it, from my experience, you end up with like 112% or 118%. I think that's why the squib video with my son did as well as it did, because it was like a 5 or 6 second short, and people would rewatch it trying to figure out what happened. So my experience, that's it. But man, I don't know. I mean, I definitely don't have any of this figured out. I know that videos or shorts that I think should do well don't, and then the stupidest shit ever does. Um, and sometimes it's a crapshoot, right? You post a short and it doesn't go anywhere. You wait a few days, shit. Sometimes wait a few hours and repost it, and it'll take off. Why? I don't know. You know, I know, like on this channel, YouTube will hold a short damn near a week before it gets any views now. You know, when I first started, I'd push. Yeah, that's what you want to see. That gets it. Right? I agree. You know, when you're showing gun content too, it's hard because a lot of the people that are watching gun content aren't really watching to see, you know, high end 2011s. They're watching to see Glocks or Canics and stuff. So it's that target audience is kind of hard. Um, and I wish I could figure it out better. I'm hoping that, you know, just the plugging along and getting somewhere works. Um, John, did you see? I did a couple shorts this afternoon. Did you see them Colts I posted? It was an anaconda, a python, and a king cobra. They're all engraved. They're still actual Colt manufactured firearms, brand new in the package. A friend of mine, he owns a shop here in town. Actually, the guy I deal with, right? He called me. They had they had a significant amount of them come in. They were actual all out being engraved when CZ took control of Colt, and they're still marked Colt. But I'm gonna go back there because they're setting up for that auction. Actually, their auction is live now. It started at 4 o'clock and it goes for a few weeks. But he's like, "Hey, I don't know if you saw these." And I did see him a few days before that. I was there when UPS dropped them off. But the owner himself called and said, "Hey, you should check these out." And he's like, "You show them, people might like to see them on the channel." So I put them up, and I went through what they already had set up for this auction. I'm like, well, let me come back another time. And yeah, I did see that. You're right, because that's when I told you I'd be live, I think, today. I would love to buy him. He's got the Series 70 gold cups, stainless steel engraved. He's got the Series 80 government models, stainless engraved. He's got blued Series 70 and the blued 80s. Pay the Snuckle, what's going on, man? How are you doing? And then he's got, like I showed there, the stainless King Cobra, Python, and Anaconda. And he has more than one of each. he legitimately bought out what was all at the engravers. Um, I haven't looked up the prices for him yet, but when I asked him like how much, he said 2,200. I don't know what they're gonna sell for. Uh, I I should buy them all. Well, not all that he's got, but like one of each. But I really don't have the disposable resources at the moment to do that. I could sell one of my motorcycles and do it, and then would be any of you guys that are in here. That would be a great investment. You know, the original Colt Snake Series guns that are all, you know, custom hand engraved. I mean, that's just money in the bank. You're gonna gain more off that every year than you would in a stock market. Hey, Snucka, how are you doing, man? How's your Friday going? I appreciate you showing up. Um, Not really anything going on here. A few of us in here just chatting. Um, More like I'm doing the talking, just rambling on. Um, but that's what I know. What do they run for? I'm not sure what the new ones really go for. I don't think they're crazy expensive. They're under 1,500. I think the most expensive one's probably the Anaconda, and it's got to be pretty. It's probably under 2 grand. Um, yeah, there you go. Did you post footage? You know, any of that stuff. It comes out, and you almost like, I don't want to pay that kind of money for that. It always ends up being a great buy, great investment. When I saw them come in, um, Mike was actually checking them in. He's putting them in the log, and I walked in, and they had 3 big boxes sitting on the floor, all blue Colt box. You know what a Colt box looks like? I saw them. I'm like, oh god. I'm like, what do you got? And they laughed at me. They're like, you don't want to see that. I'm like, you know, what you got? You know, he goes, oh, we got some 19. I was like, oh, okay. He goes, we got some snake guns too. I'm like, oh, which one? He goes, all of them. I'm like, come on. He goes, you should really look at them because now you had my interest. And he starts opening them up like, oh god, I gotta leave. And I was disgusted with myself, and I left. And I was telling my kid about it. When I got home, he goes, well, show me. I didn't even think to take video of it or pictures of it. And then when the owner called me today, I'm like, absolutely. So I stopped there. Um, and then I told my kid, I sent him a message at school, said, hey, he wants us to come down and film him. Now, he ain't asking for anything. He's not asking me to promote anything, but, you know, he's been doing it his whole lifetime too. And, you know, sometimes there's certain things that you're going to see that you're never going to see again. You know, you might come across them guns. They're not one of one, right? But you might come across one of them here or there, but you're not going to come across every one of them all in the same spot at the same time, all brand new in the package for sale. You know, so that is a once in a lifetime thing. Um, I didn't have a lot of time to do this stuff today, so I did what I could. But we're gonna go back probably next week. We'll go back and I'll be able to show them guns in a little more detail. Um, but this shop, that's kind of what they do, is they you know, hunt for deals. You know, they like to do the, you know, you always see sales and they say buy 10 or more. Well, he'll buy 10 or more, and you know, he'll make his money, right? Everybody makes their money, but he'll buy them in bulk, and make his money that way. And he's not getting rich off of it, but he's making money. For instance, like on this table, he did the paperwork to transfer my Barrett. I bought the gold Grisan from him there. The shadow systems I bought from him. The Black Mamba they ordered me. My DWX they ordered me. My SPO1 competition they ordered me. The TSO and the TSO2 both, I got them from them. My Checkmate up there with the blue charging handle, they ordered me that one. The one with the red, they did my transfer paperwork on that. Oh, and the purple 22, my daughters, they ordered me that. and then the shadow system, or the shadow system, the shadow, I bought that from, that was something they had on their shelf. I think we've all missed once in a lifetime deals, and I regret it. I know this moment here and now, seeing them guns there, I should be figuring out how to get them. And I mean, there's things I could do, but I don't know if it's better to know I'm making a mistake by not jumping on them, or to try and justify it. And I mean, I could get one of them, no big deal. The wife may or may not find out, whatever. But if I come home with another 10 grand worth of firearms, and she knows about it, I mean, I'm not going to say she's going to leave me, because she hasn't yet. But it's, I don't know. I should. I mean, they're nice. You know, the worst thing is, though, and I'll say this, and I was thinking about this today when I was looking at them, is if you leave them original, brand new in the package, never go out and play with them, they're definitely going to be worth more, right? 10 years, 15 years, even 5 years from now, they're going to be worth significantly more. 10 years from now, they're going to double in value, if not triple. But I'm going to shoot them. I would absolutely take them out and shoot them. You know, so I don't know. It won't be hard. Like, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I'm sure you guys are in the same boat. I mean, you know, like that SPO1, John, how much do you think that, you know, you're like, I should have just bought it. I should have just pulled the trigger. Remember, I don't know if they still do, but like the NRA used to do their, was it bi-monthly, I think, firearms. Like one time they had a retro style AR-15 that looked like the Vietnam, and it had, rather than being phosphated, it was blued, and then it had some, I know, that's just it too. I know I'm already making a mistake by not buying them, you know. But that's one of the things, you know, the 1911s, you'd have to get both of them, actually all four of them that they have, the stainless, 70, the 80, the blued, you know, 70 and 80. You'd want all four. Then you have something. The snake guns too, you could have one and it's still going to be phenomenal. But if you have all three of them, I mean, not only did you just gain value for the individual firearm, but to have all three, you're going to pick up significant value. Yeah. You know, I think, yeah, I'm already regretting it, but I'm trying to be, if we were at the end of summer, I wouldn't even think twice about it. I would have already pulled the trigger on them, per se. But I know our shooting starts here in 2 weeks. Patriot, how are you doing? I'm glad you're back. You got, which hair did you get cut? Just one of them, or did you get them all? I had to go get a haircut today too, and I got shaved. She sheared me like a sheep. I had a full beard going on. I looked like a hobo. My wife had been complaining about it for a minute, and I don't care if she likes it or not. I'm just lazy, and I don't like shaving. So when I get my hair cut, I get shaved. I usually go like every 2 weeks, but winter times I push it off. But we were talking about them engraved Colts, saying I should pull the trigger on them, but I don't really have the resources to buy three engraved Colt firearms. Plus they have 1911s. They have them in stainless and blued. Just the bottom ones. Yeah, man. Nobody likes hair in their food. So it's funny, years ago, I used to always tell my wife, hey, you need to change your razor, and she never figured out why I was saying that or what I was actually referring to. And she figured it out one day that I used her razor to shave my nether region. And I mean, She didn't keep her razor in the shower anymore after that. But, yep, there's a little personal information that you'll never get rid of. But I was going to ask you earlier, Patriot, what's yeah, I walked away from a bunch of them too, and actually I think the 1919 and 308 it was even cheaper. It was like $1,100. It was the same price as a AR-15. The 50 caliber ones, same thing with the it had the tripod though, not the bipod, so you could mount it like a Jeep. It was right around $2,000, and they were. I mean, that was early 2000s. They were at every gun show, you know, and like when I bought my first AR-15, I contemplated and I'm like, what am I going to use that for? I should have bought it, you know. I should have realized, and I didn't at the time, but I can get another AR-15. That's kind of a rare piece, you know. Semi-auto, of course. I'm sure yours was too. But yeah, I don't know which one. I mean, give me that same position a day, I'd get them both. You know, I'd figure out how to get them both because I mean, they'd probably be sitting in my living room. Where did you go? Quiet. Harley. Oh, it's you. April, can I buy a Colt? Or more precisely, can I buy 5 Colts? Actually, no. I'm sorry. Can I buy 7 Colts? Do whatever I'm gonna do. Yeah. They are, man. You know, I think like back in that same time frame, there was a lot of smaller companies that were making 50 cal bolt guns, right? And they were all cheap too. They were all at the same price range, and them went away. You know, a lot of that stuff, you take it for granted that it's going to be here, and you know it's kind of cool, but it's not cool enough that you want to spend the money on. So you don't. You know, when the titanium nitrided Gold Desert Eagles first started coming out, they were cheap. Yeah, I'm tracking. But you start taking them for granted, and next thing you know, they're gone. But then the Gold Desert Eagles, when they first started coming out, they were like $1,800, and I looked at them a dozen different times and just kept passing on them. Now I wish I would have bought it because they're, you know, they're over $3,000. The Uzi kits too. I've owned one Uzi and it was a Vector Arms, and they welded the trunnions in wrong, so the gun it would not run. I ended up getting rid of it, but like all the Uzi kits used to be dirt cheap, or the AK kits, or any of that stuff. I mean, it used to be just dirt cheap. It wasn't really, I guess, dirt cheap when I was, you know, 20 years old or 25 years old, but looking back on it, I mean, that 1919, $1,500, you know, I mean, now it's like nothing, but then it was no more. So, don't know if you know, but your computer's busted. I thought it was mine. I opened it. It's busted. I opened it. It's busted. That smell I was smelling, that's where it was coming from. I thought it was mine. I opened it up, and it was all fucking foobarred. Like, I was pissed. I mean,
It's been working fine. You just have to be careful how you open it.
didn't know. Didn't even know it was yours.
I will look at it later. I'm sure I can.
Where's Harley?
She went to Callie's.
So,
I just am trying to wrap.
anyway, let's Clearly that's my wife. She just came home. So she says go ahead and go buy them. But you guys know damn well that if I go and spend that kind of money on them, she won't say nothing right away. 3, 4, 5 weeks, oh yeah, that will be holy hell. John, how's your old lady handle you buying firearms? A lot of times my wife, she doesn't know. I have enough things that she won't even generally pick it out. But every once in a while, man, she'll surprise me and where did you get that? When did you get that? And we have separate accounts. Part of my check every week goes into a joint account with her, and that's our bill money. But my, like any payments I have or any of the stuff I do, that goes into a separate account. That's mine, and she's got her own too. So people or wives and husbands sharing the same account, that doesn't work. That at least it doesn't work for me. It hasn't. I tried that years ago, and man, it never went well. I hated asking for money from my check because I wanted to go bowling or I wanted to go do something. I wanted to go shooting. Oh, fine. How much is that? No, that ain't working. So that's what I know. Patriot, you still there? Oh, maybe not. So I'll just sit here and entertain myself. But I still see there's some people there in the comments. So if you're there, man, chime in. Let me know you're alive. Or you could be one of the people that's, telling people to be your own channel and, create your own clout. But the whole time you're doing it, you're trying to chase off other people. Hey, this green screen video did really well on their channel. I want a piece of that pie. Only thing I'm going to say to you about that is you're trying too hard. The whole be yourself, well, clearly that's not working. But, yep. So anyway, we'll just be quiet then for a little while, I guess. There's Patriot. Oh, you must have picked up your 380 ammo, huh? For that T-sauce. Huh. 51 years, congratulations. My wife cuts the checks, per se. Even like in my bills, she'll go in my account and pay my stuff with my money. And then I ask, well, how much do I have? And I try to keep track of it, but she does it, and it, for a while I was doing it, and then my account got hacked, so I didn't have a debit card. So then she was transferring money and just doing it that way. And I don't know, I got used to her doing it, so I let her do it. She pays everything else and she'll do that. But so what did what did she say when was it actually 600 or was it more? I think in your video you said it was going to be closer, it was more federal. I know she has an AR-15. I don't recall what else you've said she has, but does she actually go shooting with you, or you go pretty much by yourself when you're going? I spent over 600. That's all right. Have you started testing that gun yet? Have you got any rounds through it? If you posted something, I'm sorry, I missed it. I haven't seen it yet. Sometimes it's cool to get your old lady to come shooting with you. Mine liked to shoot shotgun when we go shooting sporting clays and trap. She liked that, but like rifle, she could care less about. She doesn't enjoy that. She used to every once in a while shoot IDPA matches with me, and I learned early on that it was cool that she came, but I would put her on a different squad so I didn't have to deal with her all day. Because women got a thing, man. You know, they get a little too comfortable and they start talking to you like you're at home. And, you know, when we're at home, she can have a difference in opinion. She can argue. She can do all this. But when we're out in public, John, you may appreciate this. Patriot too. When we're in public, you're not going to argue with me. You're not going to have a disagreement with me. I don't care if you have a different opinion. That's not the place to have it. When we get home, you can chime in. But when we're not, then kind of know your role. I'm old school that way, you know. You don't need to sit and bicker or carry on, you know, out in public. I'm not that person. So I learned it was easier for us to be on a different squad because then there was none of that just pushing buttons. And maybe your guys' old lady isn't like that, and I hope she isn't, but mine is, you know. And that's, to me too, that was the way my parents were. I mean, when we got home, man, my mom was a firecracker, and she'd let the old man just have it. But when they'd be out and we'd be in public, she was like the perfect role model of a woman. Just nod her head and agree with you, you know, and wouldn't chime in and be like, well, what I think or this. You just they played the roles, right? You got your dad, he's the spokesman and the representative, and you know, I mean, mom's really running the show, right? We all know that mom's running the show, but you know, that's, I don't know, maybe, yeah. mine likes to say something a lot of times. All right, Nix, I appreciate you hanging out this long, more than you know. I do definitely appreciate it. What do you guys, Patriot, what do you think of this this live in this format? It seems like there's a lot less traffic. Do you think it's better to do it the other way? I think I like the image better. I don't know how it shows up on a phone. I mean, does it condensing it all down? Does it make it look goofy? What's up, Leroy? Oh, big baby. So that TSAS, do you have that until you're done testing it? Are they going to give you the option to buy it? Right? So John, what's I know I've asked you, and like everybody asks, what your favorite firearm is, and you can't. All right, I'll do that next time. What do you mean the time lapse? Is there a big difference in age? Or time lapse between where we're at? Oh, the time lapse in the from how long you say something till I see it. Yeah, that's a little weird. Usually, like Patriot, I'll be 10 comments down by the time he's seeing one. Sometimes it's funny because I don't know, especially when you start kind of joking around, he'll be late to the show. I didn't know how it would turn out having the camera turned sideways. Maybe this will work better for people that are showing, you know, outdoor shit, dogs or scenery or something. But I tried it. Definitely seeing a lot less traffic. Although maybe I'll try it one more time, maybe on Sunday, because I do know, like last Friday I did the same time, and it was kind of the same thing. It was slow, man. I did like almost 3 hours, I think, and I had 4,600 views, which is a little slow. I know Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings usually do really good on lives. I've never done one of the late ones, so I'm not sure how well they do. I think if a person did late lives on like a Friday or Saturday, you know, they probably get a bunch of really? Huh. Interesting. Well, I thought it was a T-sauce. It's a Gerson. I completely fucked the pooch on that. I was talking the 380. That's the one you got, right? And if that's the one, the hour lives, it seems like once you get to that 2 hour mark is usually when you start seeing for me, start seeing a lot of traffic in that 1 hour. I mean, you, at least a lot of times the normal people I see, okay, in that first hour don't always show up. Yeah, I thought it was a T-sauce. I'm sorry, I apologize. Do you like it? Does it feel good? Where do they actually cost? What are they running? I haven't looked it up, or otherwise I would have probably known the model, right? Oh, so boy, you're just a big baby. my my dog, my all white one, he was the puppy from the litter. So I had him from a day on, well, from a moment on, right? So he's like a big baby. He just comes and cuddles with me because he was used to doing that when he was just a itty bitty puppy. He just come over and just, you know, yeah. So that's probably why I thought it was that. I mean, no offense. We all have a lot of guns, uh, and it's hard to keep track of everybody's stuff. Yeah. I don't I don't have any notifications turned on for me for other people's stuff. Only because when I'm at work, I mean, I'm not supposed to have a phone on me. So if somebody hears a phone, uh, that's no good. I mean, that turns out bad real quick. I don't even have the phone turned on for like actual phone calls and stuff. Not even vibrate. It's straight dead silent. And obviously, I mean, you kind of know my field of work. So, I mean, I understand why we're not supposed to have electronic devices, and we all do, but they absolutely are quiet. Um, so, Patriot, I know we talked that you were doing construction. What? Well, now you're gonna have to tell me what they are. What are they going for? Does it have an ambidextrous safety? I don't even know if I've seen it yet on channel. I mean, you talked about it, but I think you may have showed it, but not really any detail that I've seen. If you did, I missed it. I should probably go and find that video. John, what's the oldest firearm you got? Yeah, we all get old. I'm amazed when I think about it and I start like looking at my collection, or my motorcycles, right? I mean, how quick time goes. And I I have some older friends and they used to tell me, and I never understood it. They said the older you get, the quicker it goes. And I mean, I think they're right. Um, my kids growing up like they are and as fast as they are, man. My oldest is 24, my middle son's 15. You know, he's doing his driver's ed. He's going to a trip to Spain here in a couple months. I mean, it's like goddamn. I mean, seems like yesterday I was picking him up after work from the sitter and changing his shitty diapers, and fuck, my daughter too. I mean, they grow quick. Everybody tells you, as a young parent to take that time and enjoy it and appreciate it. And I think every parent probably regrets not doing it more. But maybe that's the benefit to when a person starts having grandkids, is you're in a position in your life to maybe slow down a little bit. 1800s, 1840s. What is it? If you tell me it's one of the old Springfield rifles, I don't know if we can be friends anymore, because I want one of them in the worst way. Patriot, you never did say what you want them to change on that gun. I didn't know you were on a live. I missed it. Really? That's cool. I almost did one of my kids as a junior, and um, I decided against it. That's kind of cool to pass that down. So we got 4 other people on here with us. Why don't you guys chime in, man? I mean, you're more than welcome to hang out and just peep. Maybe it's you know what? Honestly, maybe it's some of these other guys that said they'd leave this stuff play for me. So that could be them. So if it is you guys, I still appreciate it. Helping these watch hours. I think Patriot, I watched your lives before I ever tried any of my own, and I'll give you credit. It is hard to just kind of sit in your wherever it is, your living room, dining room, man cave, and just talk, right? I mean, we could probably go on about politics or something, but nobody wants to talk about that. Okay. We put guns out, just kind of show them. But there's nothing out here you haven't seen. I haven't bought anything new recently. Bunch of stuff I want to buy, but such as them Colts. But I gotta get through the summer shooting season. That's expensive. If I spend money on other things right now, then I can't get my kids out there and just be shooting as much as I would like them to. I ordered components this last week for my checkmates. I run major, so like an $800 order for brass, and there's like 500 and something for bullets. And I already have primers. I ordered all them foreign primers when they were cheap. Hey, woo. Don't sweat it, man. I'm still just sitting here rambling on. I'm gonna just carry this on for, I don't know, maybe a little while. When the light starts getting shittier in here, I'll shut it down. The lights I have don't really shine on that table real well. But yeah, I dropped that cash for them to be able to build major. I don't know if it's even interesting. I'm waiting for like Patriot and John to get in here. Yeah, but you had it on the board. I couldn't really see it. What scar question? I missed whatever that was. No, I don't own a scar, man. I would like one for the collection, but I don't think they're worth the money that they're getting for them. Okay, yeah, no, I don't own a scar. I like them. I would like to own one, but I don't see the value in what the rifle brings to offer. For the kind of money that they get, there's a lot of other things that I would probably pick up before it, and that's why I haven't picked one up. Yeah, see, if I were going to buy it, I'd get the heavy, and part of that too is I would get 308. I'm a 308 guy. But I know I wouldn't shoot it much. If I got like the Scar Light, I could run that for rifle matches or something. But I don't know. I mean, they're cool. I like the design. I like the firearm. I don't know. I don't want it bad enough right now to pay it. It's on my list. I have a list. Um, I keep actually on my safe door. So every time I go in my big safe, uh, I see this list, and as I buy things, things get crossed off, and that's on the list. So at some point, there's no order in it. It's just sometimes you come across a good deal. All right, Patriot. I'll catch you later. I appreciate you hanging out, man, and chatting. Um, pull that out again for this live. I'd like to see that. Yeah, my understanding is they do tear up optics, don't they? I was having that conversation with a guy at work. He was Marine Recon. That's what they used as a SCAR, and I made the comment to him. Thought they were hard on optics and shit. He said that they had Trigicons on theirs, and they survived. But it's a Trigicon. I mean, I think you could put that on a atomic bomb, and it's going to survive. But yeah, absolutely, Patriot. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you another time. Um, we'll look at um, that gun a little bit. The Gerson. I think I called it a TSOS again. So I don't have any experience with the Elcans, but I never asked, man. You have a lot of like very specific questions. Um, you must have served, I take it. Yeah, it's kind of. I guess that's more accurate, John. I have my parts lists for sure. Um, I don't I don't customize guns as much as I used to. At one point, I owned a shop. That was primarily my source of income was building and customizing firearms for people. Um, and I don't know. I do, you know, like when I bought my SPO1 competition, it wasn't what I wanted. So I spent the money and I put like another $800 into the gun that was already a $1,300 gun. And to be honest, it still isn't what I wanted. I bought the Tactical Sport Orange 2 for a few $100s more than I paid for that SPO1, and it was exactly what I wanted. That's why you see as many CZs up there as you do, because I learned I'll spend a little bit more now on a firearm and just get what I want to start with for no other reason when I'm gone. I mean, I'm going to die at some point. My kids have them guns. Nobody pays motorcycles, cars, firearms. Nobody pays for the work you do to it. Nobody pays for the custom paint job. Nobody builds for the custom motor work. They buy the car. And if when they buy that car, they're getting some extras, they may throw a little bit extra on top. But generally speaking, modifications don't increase the value of the firearm. They increase the value to you. Um, they don't increase really the value of the firearm. So I'll spend more now up front and just get something that's what I'm looking for. Um, you know, like when I bought my Black Mamba, you know, that Vilcorstron pistol there, it's that camo one right in the middle of the screen. I don't have a G36. Um, I had a UMP and I just got rid of it actually. And I bought another one, a USC, that'll do the same work to it. I had it, I built it, I sent it to Tommy Guns. They did some conversion work. But this one I'm going to build just a little bit different than I did the last one. Yeah. I don't know that the stocks are this. I think they look the same, but I don't think they're changeable. I don't really know. I showed the first one on the channel like 2 years ago, and I sent out to Tommy Guns. Um, I never got back around to showing it, but I had just the conversion work done. I used before I rattle all on about this. Are you familiar with any of the work that goes from changing the USC to the UMP? Because if not, I'll explain that first if you wanna hear it. Sure. So the USC comes into the country in a neuter configuration. They have a fixed stock, um, which is like a California compliant stock where the stock actually attaches to the pistol grip. And then the lower receiver is molded so that it only takes a single stack magazine. And then it has a full length compliant 16-inch barrel. So the actual UMPs, they have a fold-in stock and then a separate detachable pistol grip, and then they're milled out to be a double stack firearm. So what you do, because you can't get them in that configuration in the United States unless you are law enforcement or an SOT or government. But what you can do is you can buy the parts. The actual USC you buy is just a little bit shorter than the real UMPs. So there's parts that are sold that you can convert the gun to that configuration. You put a block in it, and then you put the side fold-in stock on it, or fixed stock if that's what you wanted. And then you change out the lower module where the trigger pack is to a double stack trigger pack, and then you go inside the upper receiver and you mill that area out to accept a double stack magazine. You can get all the parts from HK Parts. So when I built the first one, that's exactly what I did. I put the block on, I put the stock on it. I bought the trigger pack from it. I put the trigger pack in it, and then I had, because you had all the trigger packs from HK Parts, even the ones that are semi-auto, they can accept full auto parts. So the ATF says you can have the trigger pack, but you can't install it. So what you do is they plastic weld them in, they fill them in so that no full auto parts will fit. And then, like I said, you mill out the receiver, which is easy. It's a plastic receiver. You can actually do it. How I did it is I drilled it out, and then I went in there and I just chipped it out. So I had like my pattern, and then I took and just carved it out. But what I'm going to do to this one is Tommy built, they take a demilled actual UMP, and it's the rear section, and they plastic weld that onto the UMP, or it's the UMP back section, they plastic weld it onto the USC, and that gives you a true UMP pattern. And then the trigger pack I used last time was just a semi-auto marked trigger pack. This one, because it's the same trigger pack, it's the same cost, I'll get the full auto marked one. So it's got, the single semi full auto markings, and then I'll have them plastic weld that up too. So at least the marks are there authentically. And the other thing they'll do is they'll fill in where it's marked USC, and they'll re-engrave it so it'll say UMP. So essentially you have the real deal versus a retrofit or a build. It's as close as you can get, and then you change the barrel, you do your SBR paperwork. You have to be 922R compliant, so you have to have so many parts, and the easiest way to do that is you change your barrel to a United States manufactured barrel, which is actually a better barrel than the HK barrel. And it's super easy to change a barrel, and then you can either change some trigger components or stuff, or what the easiest way is if you change the barrel to a US manufactured barrel, then you just use US manufactured magazines, and you make your parts compliance that way. But the only difference, like I said, this time I'll get it, I'll buy, and it changes the price to doing the work, because you got to buy that factory demilled section. That's usually about $1,000 for that. 700 if you get a good deal, and then it's another, close to $1,000 to have that welded on there, depending on what else you have them doing. So you spend almost another $200 on the conversion. When you're done converting the gun, I mean, you're looking about $6,000 into the gun, and that doesn't even count what you bought it for. And maybe not quite that much, but the stock and the trigger pack and all that, you're into it for some money. So I had mine done. I had it for a while. I kept telling people I would show them, but I was trying to get stuff up. And I was asked about it recently, and I showed it to a guy, and I told him what I had into it, and he's like, "Oh, I'll buy it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure you would, but that's what I have into it." And an offer was made, and in the back of my head, what I didn't do that time, because I mean, I don't just didn't do it. I mean, after it was built, I regretted not doing it. So I sold that. That gives me most of the money to do the work again. But this time I'll do, like I said, them couple extra things. I'll get the demilled rear receiver, or the rear part, have that plastic welded on. I'll have the full auto trigger pack markings. And that's all that is just creates value. You can there's some companies out there that make the UMP clones in the US, and off the top of my head I can't think of them. I think one of them is Glydian or Gildan or something. And then, like, who is it? Strybog, I think they have a real similar, at least vibe looking type gun. But the other thing I'll do this time, and I was working on it, I just didn't make it work, is with the UMP, you can change the barrels. It's super easy to change the barrel. And you buy a new bolt, you can shoot 940, 10 millimeter, or 45. Mine, last time and this one, is all set up for 45. But that's something that I'll do this time. I kept some of the parts. I didn't sell him. There were things that weren't on, like the rail sections for the top rail and forearm. I mean, for an AR-15, they're cheap. They're like $50, and you have them all. For that gun, it's $175 for the top rail section. I think it's like $75 or $100 for each side section. So you need 3 of them, side, and then bottom. I kept them. I just did. I guess it's kind of a douchebag thing, but I'll use the American barrel again, and I still have a few of the magazines for it. I didn't sell them every one I had. I gave them a good value. I mean, but I guess that's an interesting gun to shoot, actually. Even in the stock or I don't want to say stock because it's not stock. It's the imported version. They're actually really, really accurate. A really good shooting gun. They're a little weird because they're that plastic. They're not like a Glock that's polymer. I guess if I had to describe the feel of it, it's like a plastic with a nylon feel. It's different. But for shooters, they're really good shooters. The trigger sucks in them. It's a blowback calibered 45. So, I mean, you wouldn't think you're going to feel a pistol caliber have any recoil, but in a carbine, they actually do. But that was that was one of my son's favorite guns. He liked it. We a few years ago already, we took out, I don't know if you ever seen them, but they had the zombie targets that bleed. But I bought him one for his birthday, and him and my oldest son, they legitimately cut this target in half, and it's thick, right? It took up so much ammo, and I kept telling them, "All right, guys, you don't have to," and they just kept going. I bet you they probably put 2,500, maybe 3,000 rounds through the gun in a day. But they legitimately cut this zombie torso target in half from head to toe, and it fell apart. But they got going, and but they had fun. It was cool watching them shoot it. But we had it. I mean, it wasn't like it was 5 yards away. It was at 50 yards, and it was you know, at first it was just blowing a hole through it, and then it was I'm watching him shoot. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm gonna cut it in half," and them two are loading mags back and forth, and I'm just like, "Come on, guy, you're killing me." You know, 45 is expensive, and I loaded all of it. It wasn't like it was even bought in ammo. It was stuff that I sat there and pulled the handle for. Uh, but it was cool. It was easy to shoot. I'd given up on it real early on because they were having fun. Um, That's kind of interesting gun. You know, you can get them. Uh, the conversions you can do in 16-inch, so you don't have to do any NFA paperwork. That's the cool thing about the conversion, is there's no fancy paperwork you have to do. You just send the stuff out. It's just HK parts are expensive. They're hard to get. They're not always available, so you have to watch HK parts, and you'll see at different times. Um, Law enforcement guns will get traded in, they get demilled, and you'll find the rail sections, and they're pricey, you know. Uh, but it's I don't know. I would like that gun more if it were like a CZ Scorpion where you could change the charging handle. But on that one, just like the the HK MP5s or whatever, it's left hand charging only. So for 90% of the world, it's fine. But for a left hander, it's kind of weird and awkward. That gun though, unlike MP5, unless you get the FBI contract ones, it does have a bolt hold open. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They had them for a few different firearms. M-Tech, I think. M something. Yeah, 16-inch barrel. Uses your AR-15 lower, and you can do the conversion. Now they made them too for, I think, Glocks. But yeah, when you do the conversion, I EDC a Glock 26, a Gen 5 Glock 26. I've carried a Glock 26 um, pretty much my whole adult life. I started with a Gen 3. I carried that forever, and then I um, carried a Gen 4 a couple years ago. I gifted that to my oldest son for Christmas because he got his concealed carry permit. So I gifted him that. And then I bought a Gen 5. I should have kept my Gen 4. I I liked the gun. It was worn. It was worn to me. So like on the right hand side of the gun, it was super smooth because that's the side it would carry against my body. Um, and I didn't gift him that because I wanted the new gun. I gifted him that because it was something that almost his whole life that was dad's carry gun. And you know, hey, I'd be out in the garage. Hey, go grab my pistol. I gotta leave, or put this away. I gotta run to the bathroom, or you know, stuff like that. It was always something that he saw, and it was always something he knew was mine. I carried that, you know, and so when I gave him something for him to carry and you know to protect himself, um, that was kind of my way of giving him a piece of me, and he cherishes it, you know. You know, he told me just the other day we were talking about it. He goes, I'll gladly take the Gen 5. He goes, but I really do like carrying the Gen 4 because every time I put it on, you know, every time I go to holster it, I think of you. He goes, and when I get home at the end of the night, I'm taking it out. He goes, I think of you because it was my gun, and that was my goal. It was a it wasn't just a gift, it was a personal gift, and I know, John, you understand that. It was a personal gift. It was a personal gift for me to give somebody something that, you know, for just a carry gun, it meant something, you know. Does it? I know there was companies for a while that were making left-handed 1911s. I wish I would have bought one. That was the only handgun I ever seen other than, what is it, Charter Arms. They make left-handed revolvers. Oh, good hiccups. What kind of guns you got, Awu? I don't. I mean, you seem to know a lot about guns. You ask a lot of like I'm not a noob type gun person questions. I mean, it's only really a couple of us here. I think it's you, me, um, and John. All right, man. I can respect that. Well, regardless, I'm glad you're around. Uh, Big O, you're still here. Right on, man. I'm glad you're still here. I actually commend you a little bit if you've been here and listened to me rattle on this whole time. So, trying to think. I know the company you're talking about, John. Um, I don't have access to my phone. I don't have any Mini 14s. Um, I wish I did. That's another one of them guns I was talking earlier about, things that you just kind of let go. And Mini 14s and Mini 30s for the longest time, dude, they were like $500. They were cheap. You know, AR-15s at that time, they'd yeah, no problem, man. They were like at 12, 13, $1,400 range. But a lot of people overlooked the Mini 14s. Um, they're not as accurate as an AR, and they're not as customizable. But now, man, I mean, they're getting good money for Mini 14s. I I want one, but I want like the A-Team version with the wood stock stainless steel barrel and receiver, flash hider, bayonet lug, and then the uh, is that John? You probably know. Is that a Fleming stock? The side folder, wood stock pistol grip, and then the metal side folder. That's the one I want. I should buy it. They have them actually factory configuration like that now, but um, in the fall. That's my gun buying will be pretty much non-existent now until fall. We get through that shooting season. Yeah, man, no worries. That KSG I bought my middle son Gage, he wanted it. I don't remember what I was picking up, but he kept going and looking at it a few different times. We'd go in the store, he'd go and look at it. Oh, sweet. You got the wood stocks, synthetic stocks, or folding stocks. But he kept going and looking at it. And one day I took him in there. I'm like, hey, why don't you go grab that? And I'd already did paperwork. We were there to pick it up. And he's like, really? On which one? On the AR? Yeah, probably my left-handed AR. No, I think it's a Veltor. I had that. So if you go in them videos, you'll see, like my Bushmaster, you'll see the cantilever mount on it and the aim point, and then you'll see the Surefire M955. Them all, that stuff came home with me. It was requisitioned. Nope, I don't have an ACR. You're probably seeing that CZ Scorpion. So the stuff you're looking at is one safe. That's the stuff I keep pulling out. That's where all my pistols are. Um, Most of the rifles in there and stuff are stuff we use. Like you'll see the SKSs. Yeah. Um, the SKSs are mine and my kids. We go shoot them quite a bit. We got our other rifles there. Got the trap gun in there. But most of the stuff in that safe is stuff that we use on a kind of a regular basis. It's coming out at least a few times a year. Obviously, like the Scorpion we pull out, the AR-9s we pull out all the time. But you know, all the other stuff, it kind of just sits there. I wipe it down and it sits. You know, that's where my Thompson sits. That's, you know, the Barrett sits in one of them other safes. Right now I don't have room in it, so it doesn't always get put in there. A few milsurp guns. I don't have an A1. It looks like an A1 because of the furniture on it, but that's a 16-inch. It's a dissipator. But the furniture on there is actual A1 furniture. It was from Vietnam rifles. It was, I think it was part of the Lend-Lease programs. And they were demilled. They were demilled and then sold through a company called Sarco Incorporated. And they were sold as parts. So you could buy the upper receiver it was an A1. You could buy, it had a Colt barrel, had lower parts kits, which for civilian world you had to get rid of because it was the full auto stuff. Came with the bolt carrier, all Colt parts. And when I had my shop, that's when I bought them. I put them together. No, it's not actually a 203. Looks cool though, right? But I put a bunch together, the rifles together, and I sold them in more of a modern configuration. And so I have a bunch of that Vietnam era furniture from them parts kits that at the time nobody wanted it, you know. And the shit, honestly, it sat in a box. I put tape around it to keep the stuff together, and the stocks, the pistol grips, and the forearms got thrown in a box. And a year or 2 years ago, I was cleaning out my vault in my basement, and I pulled that stuff out, and I don't know, it's got a cool vibe to it. It's A1 buttstock, so it's shorter than the modern buttstocks, and it's got no trap door. So that tells you how old the furniture is, right? But it gives a cool vibe. When I put that dissipator together, I built that gun to work with the forced reset triggers. I know what you meant, John. But I built that gun to work with the forced reset triggers. So to get the best reset or the best function out of them, a mid-length gas system worked best, and then a heavy buffer. And then for me, I put on the rifle length buttstock, and then I used a spacer. But the gun worked phenomenal until the ATF came and took the triggers, which, I mean, I'd like to get them back. They're supposed to be giving them back. But that whole gun got built around that. And when I built the gun, I didn't have furniture available. E4 style. Yeah. That full size I have, I think I had it in live, but I built that. My kid shoots it. He wants to get a rifle from CMP, the Civilian Marksmanship Program. He wants an M1 Garand in the worst way. And now I could go and shoot it, but in order to be eligible for CMP, you have to participate in CMP matches. And then you submit your scores to the CMP program, and you're able to purchase a rifle through them, which is I mean, John, you know this, which would be M1 Garand is what he wants. So I built that so he could participate in a CMP match to make him eligible for us to go ahead and purchase through the CMP program. Are you familiar with what the CMP program is? But basically, so the Civilian Marksmanship Program is it's a semi government run thing. They take surplus firearms, and this includes 1911s, Springfield 03s, and M1 Grands, and sometimes they recondition them, sometimes not, but they sell them for civilian marksman programs to get shooters out there. I mean, this is a old program. I don't know exactly when it started, uh, but they have CMP matches, and it's all, yeah, there's a bunch of companies that make wood furniture now, but they started it to create marksmen or to keep marksmanship alive. I mean, that's, our country's based on marksmen, right? It's part of the firearm legacy. So you can purchase these firearms through their program, but you have to participate in matches. So they don't want collectors going in there and buying a dozen M1 Grands just so they can turn around and sell them. So what they do as a requirement is you have to participate in matches and you have to submit proof and scores, which is great. I mean, then you can buy the gun, but if you don't have the gun to participate, you can't participate. And it's military spec firearms. So an AR-15, it's not got Gucci handguards. You can't have aftermarket triggers. You can change the sights and you can add weight, but you can compete with an AR-15, but it's got to be the government profile. They'll let you shoot with the flat tops now, and that's why I built that. Is that one who started it? I mean, I don't know word for word the perfect detail, but it started like they had a lot of these guns that were on a Lend-Lease program to other countries. The Lend-Lease program, like, that's how we armed our allies. But it wasn't just World War II. I mean, it went all the way on. So a lot of guns, like a lot of the M1 Grands are getting, they come back from the Philippines. I mean, they couldn't destroy them because it wasn't their property. So when they were done with them, they returned them to the U.S. The U.S. military or the U.S. government turned them over to the CMP. So, I mean, they're continuously getting new firearms in there. As for people, yeah, they have a phenomenal sight. So we didn't make a match last year, and that's a goal. That's why I think I got a video of him shooting it last summer. All right, man, I wouldn't sweat it. I mean, I'm probably 6 o'clock, so like, what, just under a half hour, I'm gonna end this. That's, I mean, I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of like people jump in, just random comments like I usually do. I think that's because of the format of the video. I did see an M1 in there, which it's 6:30 for me. Yeah, that's the same time. Well, no, it's 5:30. I apologize. Which M1 do you have? Which manufacturer? Was it a... All right, man. I appreciate you hanging out again and coming back. I enjoy it, your conversations. So we'll see you next time. Take care. I think I'm gonna live stream on Sunday when I get back from shooting. Sunday's usually a pretty good one. 3:30 in Cali. Man, that's all right though. Yeah, it's just after 5:30. All right, man. So John, what manufacturer do you have? How long have you had it? How does it shoot? And I would assume, I mean, H&R. Is it still an H&R barrel or was it rebarreled? How's the barrel look? Is it... See, now I'm gonna have a million questions. Is it all match and all original? Was it a refurbished? Was it a Lend-Lease rifle? So is it imported back? How long have you had it? I bought one a little over a year ago. The barrel on it was rough and pitted, and I don't remember what the throat erosion was on the gauge, but it was shot out. I got it, and I knew that, and I just figured I'd send it down to Ocean Barrels. They have M1 barrels, and they'll rebarrel them. And we sent it down there, and there was actually a crack in the receiver. So you could, I guess you could probably weld it, but that you're not going to weld that and have it stay right. So that was kind of a loss for me. I will buy another one. I was a little disappointed, and I didn't see it. I had the gun out of the stock a few times, and I didn't notice it. And when they showed it to me, uh, I mean, I can see why, but it was definitely cracked and all stock 30-06. That's the way they had to be. You know, a lot of people rechambered them in 308, but M1s shoot. I mean, they're butter smooth. There's no. I mean, it's such a gentle cartridge or cell, such a gentle firearm to shoot. But I even have a bunch of ammo loaded up for it. I think I got like 30, about 1,000 rounds downstairs. Half of it's already in the clips, because I planned on shooting it 20 years ago. Probably paid what, like $800, $700. All right, Big O, I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, and go do something productive. You know, spend some time with that wife. I'm glad you're here to help us get to John up to his 500. They're nice shooting rifles. They, I mean, dead nuts accurate. Um, I was looking forward to the one I had. It was nothing fancy, and that's probably why I didn't. I sold the parts because the receiver was no good, the barrel was no good, but I still had the op handle, you know, the trigger pack, buttstock and stuff. But nothing fancy. And once you throw away the barrel and the receiver, I mean, you might as well just get a new rifle at that point. If the barrel had been good, I would have just got a new receiver. If it had been just the barrel, well, I was going to get a new barrel, but when you get the whole thing's bad, well, then it's the whole thing's bad. Start over. But I'm glad we got you up to your stay a bit longer. Oh man, that's good. We'll write it out here. No, that one would have been the first one I had. I had experienced the guy who got me into the competition shooting and reloading and stuff. He had a Springfield. His was manufacturing Korea time frame though. I borrowed the gun from him forever, and I mean, it was a lot of fun to shoot. Accurate as hell. It was easy gun to shoot. You know, soft shooting, accurate. I'm not sure what a TA-31H is. Is that one of them like? Oh, the ACOG fiber optic? Not really. No, I have like virtually very little to no experience with ACOGs. Everything I had was aim points, and I still have aim points. I was never really a fan of them. I mean, it's not really a great optic for close-up fast shooting. And like the Afghanistan people, they loved them, right? They're engaged in stuff and further, but you know, EOTechs and aim points were kind of the go-to. You know, Marines, they all had ACOGs. Yep, them came out later. So I have, it's not an ACOG, but I have the Leupold hammer, which is Leupold's version of the ACOG. I don't know. I mean, it's not an ACOG, right? But I know the trinium or that glow stick always shined. You always saw people putting duct tape over them. They'd cover up about 90% of it. They look cool. When my kid is done with that 20-inch, I keep debating on putting one on there just for the vibe, the retro vibe. But in the civilian world, for the price of an ACOG, there's a lot of other optics out there that perform better. I didn't. I never liked the eye relief on them either. Um, yeah, I agree. You know, and that's. Like I said, I had virtually no experience. I've looked through them, uh, fired a few rounds, and it was never anything I owned. It was never anything I had in my possession. It was never anything that I was like, man, I gotta have this. Uh, the the die hardness or the toughness. That's the word to use. The toughness of the product does kind of speak volumes, but close range, they're slow. You put that the RMR on top, and I mean, that's I think that's where I think a lot of the pistol optics. Well, they did. They started putting the RMRs on stuff, um, and then it wasn't long, and people started drilling and tapping to put them on pistols. But yeah, the ACOGs, like that Leupold hammer uses the delta point. Um, and then they started doing like a lot of the side mounts with bigger optics or more magnified optics to help people get on target faster. And that's really where I think ACOG was intended. It wasn't like intended for close quarters, maybe, but it helped them get on that target because a lot of them are what 6 power or 8 power or I don't know if they even have any 4, but to try and engage with a target on 6 power, it's hard to find it, you know. But you throw a red dot on the top and it helps you get there a lot quicker. So, like I said, I have no experience, doing anything productive with it. So that's the best I can answer. They are definitely meant for longer range. That's why they liked them in Afghanistan, you know, in Iraq and stuff. They had a purpose. I think if they had magnifiers right away for aim points or EOTechs or the Trigicon, I can't remember what them are called. I don't think they would have ever had them. They weren't specifically made for Afghanistan, but that's where that optic shone, right? I mean, everything everything was further. But I know even now they still like them on mounted um, 50 cals or the saw or the any of that stuff. They're tough, they're resilient, they take a beat and they can ride around up in a turret. And you know I don't think I've ever heard of one ever breaking or a seal going bad and getting moisture in the glass. I mean, maybe if I were like into that market uh, or that type of optic, maybe I'd hear bad things, but I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about them or not being tough. I think it's kind of a weird thing too because they're great for longer distance. Um, I have some cars. Well, I have normal cars now, but I had dray cars for a long time. Um, I've had Mustangs, Camaros, Firebirds. I had my dray car that was a '73 GTO that I had set up for Pro Street. Um, so I never got into any of JDM stuff, the metric or import. Um, I like bikes. I have 5 bikes. Yeah, I did. I noticed it. My oldest son's real into JDM too. Some of that stuff's really cool, and I would love to say what's cool, but I don't know enough about it. You know, I can tell you what a Skyline is though, and I would like to have one. That'd be pretty badass. Like I have 5 bikes. I have a Ninja ZX9. Um, that's a 1994 that I drag race with. I have a 2015 Road Glide Special. That's a Harley that I bought brand new, and that's a monster. I mean, I built that bike. Yeah. I mean, obviously you figured out I work with military vehicles. That's my day job. I've been doing that for 20 years. I don't have a Gixxer, never had a Gixxer. Um, and then I have a 1995 Softail Springer. John, you'd probably be into that bike. Um, I know what you meant, Gixxer, yeah. 400 with 4-speed. Yeah, GTO Judge. Grand Tour an option. If you look up the 73, they changed the body style. So like 71, 72, I think 70 had the same body style as yours. You're familiar with that. The 73 it changed, and then in 74 it changed. It was a big car. But it's a race car. Yeah, I like bikes. When on my other channel, I tried showing some bikes because what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a bike channel and a gun channel, and the bike stuff goes nowhere, zero. It was different. It was a bigger car. My other channel is rounds down range, but it's dead. It goes nowhere. I'll post different gun videos there and here first. Tempest first. It was, absolutely. And a Le Mans. I had a 72 Le Mans my dad gave me. He had that car for years. I think he bought it new. And when I graduated school, he gave it to me. And it was cool. But he had parked it, and he had parked it in a field. And when he gave it to me, I couldn't do anything with it. The body was rusted out. The floors were all gone, which was fine. And then when we pulled the body off and got a good look at the frame had rotted through too. So I have no body, I have no frame. I got a 350 and a 400 turbo trans. Or not turbo, but it was a 400. That evidently my dad had changed at some point in the 80s. He had the 350 turbo in there, and tranny went out and he put the 400 in it. But when I was a little kid, I always liked the car. That one was lemon yellow with a white leather top. YouTube's tough. A lot of the gun guys are. It's tough, man. It's tough for the small channels because you're doing cool stuff. You got cool stuff, and you want to connect with people that like that. But YouTube just shits all over it. My choice of content isn't sitting here doing this stuff. I want to just go shoot. I want to go shoot matches and have people interested, or I want people. What I would really like is these dads that go shooting. My dad's gone, but he would be your age, yeah. He's about the same age as you as what he had been. But I would like people that have their kids, they go out shooting with their friends and they're like, oh, my kid's too young for it. Man, not only is your kid old enough, but you can get them out there and compete. Go spend time at the range with them. Teach your kids about firearms, teach your kids about shooting sports, and you're going to have a kid that never gets in trouble. You get your kids into motorcycles, cars, or guns, they're never ever in their life going to have a drug problem. Yeah, it's none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Uh, you know, like with John, I mean, he's got some really cool guns, and he wants to share that knowledge, and it just gets suppressed. Nobody's seeing it. When I do gun stuff, if I take the Barrett out and I shoot it and show it, nobody watches it. I go show the nice CZs, nobody watches it. I go show Glocks and an AR pistol or an AK, especially AK or the SKSs. Man, people they come on the screen, you know, and I get it. That's fine. It's relatable, but like you're saying, I don't understand it. I don't know how to bust out into that algorithm. I see a lot of channels that, you know, they shouldn't be doing anything and they are. I don't understand it. I don't know how. So for me, I'm just gonna kind of keep doing what I need to do. I'm getting real close to having enough watched hours to be fully monetized. Um, I have a dog. Yeah. Um, yeah, but it's an AK. You know what people really enjoy, and if I wasn't such a FUD, is the fucking Dracos, dude. The mini Dracos. You want a channel to go somewhere, get a mini Draco and do some stupid shit with it. You're gonna have the most popular channel. You know, I mean, them types of guns. They're fun. I won't say they're not fun. I have a nice Zastava AK pistol. I'm not a fan of Dracos either. I got a Draco when it first came into the country, uh, and I ended up selling it. I don't know, maybe 6 months or a year after I got it. I played with it, and really the only thing I did with it was shoot drums in it. You know, it wasn't accurate. Trigger sucked. Um, but you go out with it and burn a 75 round drum through it. I mean, it was a great way to end a range session, and I still do that now at the end of range sessions. Not so much me anymore, but I always let my kids do some mag dumps with something. For a kid, they look forward to it. They go out and they shoot. They're serious, and at the end of the day, they get to do a bunch of mag dumps. I don't care how accurate you're being safe, but you just get to pull the trigger as fast as you can. You get to, whatever. For them, it gives them something to look forward to because they know at the end of the day, they're going to get to do it. I did it with my oldest and I caught on to it really, really well. And even when we go out and we're practicing and stuff, or I'm practicing, when I leave the range, I always do some fast shooting, just having fun. No, I haven't. Even AR pistols, a lot of them guys are into them, but for me, it's not. No, you're good. I mean, I'm here for you. Don't take it that you're interrupting me. I'm just rattling on. Like I was saying with that KSG, I bought that specifically for my son, and he went out and he shot it. He's like, "Oh, that was his first experience with a shotgun of all things." And no, I apologize. He had shot that little shorty TAC 14 I have a few weeks before that. Um, but that was his first experience with a shoulder fired shotgun. And I took it out. I had just some, was it 7.5, I think, Winchester bulk pack, the Walmart cheap shit. And we took it out, and I had 100 round pack, and he shot it all up, and he's like, "Oh, this ain't no big deal." I'm like, all right, cool. Next time I took some buckshot out there with us, and he still handled it. He handled it like a champ. And, oh, that ain't bad. And then, all right, and we took out some slugs, and okay, then he's starting to get his attention a little bit, and he's still having fun, man, just blasting away with this KSG. And then the next time we went out, I went, it probably will. Make sure when you shoot it, you're like shooting up over your head, though. You gotta, get your one arm way up over your head and then your other one down. Kind of look like you're about to spear something. You'll have it, man. But then the next time we took it out, all right, man. Well, if you do, I'll catch you another time. I'm off here in 5 minutes anyway. But the next time we took it out, I had a bunch of Remington Nitro Magnum 3-inch turkey shells. So I brought them along, and then I had some number 4 shot, I don't remember the manufacturer, high brass duck rounds, and I took out some more buckshot, and I took out some more slugs. I think I took out one was it 1 1/8 slugs, and man, he worked his way up to that turkey shot, and he fired 2 rounds of the turkey rounds. He's like, I'm done, and he has not shot that gun since. It's been sitting in the safe. That's it, all over. And he worked up to it like a champ, and I told him it's going to get progressively harder. And we got to them turkey loads, and he's like, I'm done. Just done. How do I empty this? And, he didn't even finish the whole tube. He fired 2, and I think the first one caught him off guard. And the second one, he made up his mind right then and there that, nope, I do not want to shoot them. So, but I got a lot of stuff. You'll hear me talk. I buy things for my kids, and it's to get them to go shoot. If you get them cool stuff that they want to shoot, then they go shoot. My kids, either for Christmas or their birthday, depending on who's getting what, I usually buy them a gun. So if I buy my daughter a gun for Christmas, well, then the 2 boys are going to get one for their birthday, or vice versa. I don't buy my oldest really stuff anymore. I bought him a gun last year for his birthday. He was disappointed, and I bought him a 10 millimeter high point. He had been on me that he wanted a 10 millimeter, and every time we'd go someplace, he'd be with me or whatever, he would look at 1911s and stuff. And then we worked him up too for like 3 months, 4 months. Kept telling him, I got you a 10 millimeter, and he thought it was going to be a nice 1911. He was disappointed. I broke his heart, and we were going to be dicks. We were going to spray paint it and bedazzle it and glitter it and all that stuff. And I didn't. I gave him just the gun. And I'll say this: it wasn't really that bad. It's a high point, but it really wasn't that bad. The gun ran. 10 millimeter is interesting. That's a cartridge I want to explore more of. We took it out and we shot it. I think I had 300 rounds. The stuff I loaded, over the years of picking up brass, we sort out, and every once in a while you get 10 millimeter brass in there. So I had a bunch of it. I had a bunch of 40 cal bullets, and powder, obviously. So I loaded the stuff up, and he's still got some of it. But we shot it, and I don't know what he's done with them. I know he still has it. I don't know what he's done with it, but yeah, it was kind of mean. I feel a little bad. And the look on his face, it was funny. It was funny this whole time because we all knew he was getting a high point. He was getting excited. He got so excited when I gave him the box. It was gift wrapped, and he started opening it up, and he said high point, and you just see it like, really? To me, somebody gives me a gun, even if it's a cheap gun, I'm going to be happy, No, I still haven't got it. I will at some point. This is my time of year where I don't really buy any guns. We're just getting into the spring shooting, and we'll run hard now until fall. Once fall comes, in October, I usually have about 2 months of gun buying. I get through Christmas, and then usually from January until about March here, March, April is my gun buying time again. So I try not to buy much in the summer, because between shooting and then all your family stuff you want to do, your little mini vacations, your camping, your, this stuff, it gets expensive. It gets hard. So I don't want to commit, money that I can or may need later. So my gun time is usually, end of summer, fall, get through Christmas, then New Year's until about spring. So, and that's how they end up. My son, my oldest's birthday's in June. My other birthday's, middle son's is in October, and my daughter's in January. So it works out to being able to get them a gun for their birthday and or Christmas, right? I'm not going to give my daughter a gun for Christmas, then a month later give her a gun for her birthday. But it kind of correlates really nicely to the gun buying time. So that's where I'm at. But gentlemen, I know there's only a few of us left in here. I really do appreciate you hanging out. John, I'm really glad we got you them subs. Um, it's cool. I look forward to jumping in your live when you do it. Um, any of the guys that jumped in here with us today at the beginning, I really appreciate them. I'm sure they're gone, so they're not going to hear this. But I absolutely appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting and all that stuff. So with that, gentlemen, ladies, things, I'll catch you another time, and y'all be good.